And good morning guys, I'm Eric with Posh Detailing. We are back in our Calgary location working on a Ferrari 812 Superfast. It is finished in a special color, Rosso 70 Anni. Absolutely stunning. The car is currently, has a couple hundred kilometers on it, so there's a few bugs and it's a little bit dusty here and there, but it wasn't quite finished to the level we're looking for from the manufacturer. So we're gonna start off by doing a full foam bath, decontamination, a hand wash, and then fully inspecting the car for any notes we have to take care of before we start the paint correction process. After that paint correction process, we move on to the wrapping stage. But let's start off with a foam bath. Let's go. Alright guys, now that we have completely finished the initial foam bath, hand wash, and decontamination stage, we're going to begin the inspection stage. So right now we're going to begin to inspect all the paintwork for surface rolls, various areas of scratching, holograms that the manufacturer and the dealership left on this beautiful paintwork. So it's not uncommon to have a beautiful brand new car come out of the factory like this and have spots that are either missed or just rushed through at the end of the day. And then there's so many people that end up going from the manufacturer when it's delivered from Italy, and this car was a car from Ferrari of Vancouver, to here. So there's so many people are involved in that stage. So the car could have been mishandled in so many ways. So right now we're going to inspect all those areas that are possibly mishandled and then begin the paint correction stage. So now we just finished the inspection stage. I marked all the little areas where we noticed some heavy surface scratching, some heavy sanding marks, and then just holograms. And basically the entire car is scattered with surface scratches, and there's buildup residue between the seams that we try to get out by agitating with the brush that we just couldn't quite get. So what I like to do is I just did a test panel on the roof to test out how the paintwork is, and it's moderately soft, which is quite good to repair all these issues. The problem is when you have these deeper scratches, you have to be a lot more cautious when cutting to remove them because you can cut through the paint and clear coat so much quicker. So now we're gonna begin the process by measuring this, taking a pass, wiping it, measuring it until we're satisfied with the results. And we're gonna continue this process all the way around the vehicle, follow up with we found a couple rock chips on the front end too we're gonna touch up. So let's go. So we basically just removed a mill of clear coat to remove this area. I didn't take it with the extra heavy cutting compound just because I wanted to play it safe. So we did 3 full passes. It looks much, much better. It's not 100% perfect, but I'll show you what we're working with now. So we are done with repairing the couple scratches that were a little bit more noticeable, a little bit more deep here. We did have to cut quite deep, get right down to it. There is like maybe a couple millimeters of a spot that's just too deep, but you really have to look for it. It is so minor that I don't think anybody would even be able to notice it on this paintwork. You really have to look for it. Even I can't even spot it sometimes. And then I just found another lower spot that had a little bit of a sanding issue. We're gonna take care of that and then work our way back up onto the roof on the other side and work our way down. So as we're continuing the paint correction process on the rear bumper, it is not a metal substrate, so we have to use an ultrasonic gauge to get a clear coat depth and to measure it properly to ensure we have enough clear coat to correct this whole back bumper because it's full of surface scratches, swirls, and holograms, and we're going to continue on. Now that we have completed the full paint correction, we are moving on to the wrapping stage. So the car is completely covered in polishing dust and from cutting and polishing the entire car and all the paintwork. It looks absolutely amazing now. What we're gonna have to do to remove all of the dust from the car is do a full foam bath, hand wash, and spotless rinse again before we begin the wrapping stage to ensure we don't get any of that dust under the film. So this is very crucial that we really take our time and do a very thorough job here to ensure there's no dust remaining on the car or on the ground around it. All right, now we are moving on to the interior of the 812 Superfast. This thing is absolutely stunning. It is so refined. Ferrari just knows how to build an interior that just like, you can look at every angle inside the car and it just looks stunning. But what we're gonna start with is it does have the option of the carbon doors. So what we're gonna do is actually wrap and protect these carbon doors. So what I'm doing is I'm using body shop tape, and we're gonna make a stencil for this area here, because I've always found once this kind of gets too scratched up and beat up with rings or watches or valets and keys, it's too far gone, and it's always difficult to try to paint correct and sand a curve of carbon fiber inside a car like this. It's just a situation that's really time consuming, and while the car's brand new, it's so much easier to just wrap this, protect it, and leave it looking absolutely flawless for years and years to come.